Grant Denyer now.
It's Grant Denyer.
The gold logie this year. Oh my God, it's Grant Denyer.
And our mum, Shezzy Daniel. She's really crazy.
And George,
Affectionately known
as Large Sarge.
It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
And George.
Hello, George and Grant. I don't know why I was going to sing the intro.
Hello, guys. Was there like an extra long pause than usual there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided I wasn't going to speak first because it's my birthday and I don't have to.
I know, because Grant does this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He points to me.
For everyone
like-
listening along who's not watching
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah, true. He points going, your turn.
Well, normally, I do the opener, but today I thought,
You're
what?
just sitting back and
You're
enjoying
making me
your
work
coffee
on my day off, so bugger you.
on your day
Yeah,
off.
most workplaces don't make their employee work on their birthday. But we don't have
Interesting.
that policy here.
Interesting, George.
What workplace doesn't make you work on your birthday?
You better chat to our HR and team leader / dragon lady next to me here, also known as hashtag the warden, about
I
this
thought you were gonna
policy.
say Trunchbull. Yeah. I've never had my birthday off.
So
I have.
What's your job?
I've got about
What's
15
your-
different roles.
What's your 9 to 5? What does your tax invoice say?
I don't know. I don't get paid for the amount of hours
When you go
that I
on an
do.
airplane, what do you put for your occupation?
Yeah, when you're going overseas.
Teacher. I just put random
Role model,
none.
philanthropist.
Yeah. Because there was a period there when you were going overseas where you wouldn't, well, okay. Well, I was going to say you wouldn't put your actual occupation, because I wouldn't write journalist after September 11.
Why not? You didn't, like a journalist didn't fly the plane into the Twin Towers. Not Siri's listening.
Siri's
so.
listening. No, I don't know. I've been to a few overseas countries, and I don't know whether I was advised or I just, thought it was a little bit dramatic. So I would come up with just something very different.
Do you feel as though like you'd get different treatment if they knew you were a journalist?
Maybe I might have been locked up. Oh, we're having a microphone problem.
That's right. Just try and unblock your face from the YouTube vision.
Yeah. So does nobody else do that? You don't write down. No, I suppose not. You
No,
can't really.
you write what you do. I don't see the reason to lie
lie.
to the authorities, because I would have thought that perhaps is more dangerous than declaring the actual truth.
Well,
It's a bit
lying
sus.
on an official document to get into
Okay, well that sounds
a
illegal
foreign
now.
country.
That sounds illegal. Well, it wasn't, saying that I was
Drug dealer?
something that I that I wasn't. I was just saying I was like, teacher, rather than, I don't know why I went somewhere. Yeah, when I was
Journalism
younger.
is an honourable career. I'm sure that wouldn't
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of journalists who are locked up at the moment in various countries who would, probably.
I don't think we're holidaying
side
in
with
those
me.
countries, just quietly. I don't think we're going to those places that's locking up journalists. I don't think
You
they're...
never know.
I don't know what their sandy beaches are like, but I don't think that's where we're taking our 3 kids on a
This was
holiday.
before we had.
Hey guys, who's keen on going to Chernobyl? Who's with me? Who wants to glow in the dark for the rest of their life?
This was before we had children.
Right.
Well, how did we get onto this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was
either.
going to say,
You started
how did
the
we brush
podcast.
over the fact? How did we brush over the fact that it's your birthday, mate? Happy birthday! How young are you today?
46 years of age,
Woo!
everybody. It feels not good.
Do you like birthdays?
Nope.
I'm getting that vibe.
I
Yeah.
hate them.
He doesn't like. You don't like
Always
birthdays?
have. Always have. Don't know why. Just they're crap.
What about the 1 year? So Grant's birthday is the 12th of September, and you.
The 12th of September in Australia is
Is it
actually
the 11th?
September 11
Yes.
in the States.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. So that
I share my day with the Twin Towers
yeah.
on a global clock. Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when that happened?
Yep. I just flown in from doing the supercars, working on the supercar telecast. I'd just come home. I sat down. I was watching the news, and then I was watching Sandra Sully hosting the Channel 10 News, and she was the first one. She was really the only one live in Australia. So the first one hit the tower. She starts reporting on it, and I'm like texting everyone on an old Nokia, which took me a long time. Took me a long time. There's no voice to text. There's no Siri.
Like you press the button 3 times to get the third letter or something.
I just went. In fact, I still have people. I did Mark Howard's telecast. What's his a podcast? Sorry, called the Howie Games. So I did the Howie Games with Mark Howard, and he goes, "Do you know that you texted me the night of September 11 just to tell me that it was on and that I should turn it on because some horrific history was being made?" And I was like, "Oh,
Really?
I did. I went everyone I knew. I was like,
Wow.
this is a pivotal moment in world affairs that's going to change everything." I pretty much woke everyone up to tell them it was on. Family members, you name it.
It was a strange day. George, you would have been 1, am I right? When
Yeah, I was in my mum's arms. In fact, she was breastfeeding me when she saw the Twin Towers go down on a
Yeah,
live
right.
telecast, and we're living out on a farm. And so I was being breastfed while that happened.
That's a fairly traumatic thing for
for a brand new mum,
a
I was
nursing
thinking.
mother to have to.
Because I remember watching it and thinking the world has changed. This changes everything now.
Yeah, it does.
And this is before we had CGI. So when you watch that footage and just you see the rubble everywhere, and it still gives me goosebumps. It was one of the most haunting things I've ever seen in my life. And then we did the 10-year anniversary, didn't we? We took Sailor there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
went there for the 10-year anniversary
that was
to
sad.
New York. Yep. That was yeah. Yeah, big. Still
do
just
you
as
not-
big now as it was when it happened. You know, obviously it was big, and the passing of time softens everything, but it's still, most things kind of dissipate. You know, that kind of intensity or outrage normally sort of disappears after a while, but you still feel as shocked when you watch that footage now as you did then. And then we
the
had
association, like when on your birthday, this tragic thing happened, and like is that why you're not a fan of that day in particular, or it's just always been a thing for you?
No, I think I feel very uncomfortable on that day. I feel like, you know, everyone's got to buy, you know, when I was a kid, everyone's got to buy you presents and no one knows what's to get you, and you feel like a burden. I feel like I'm a burden. I feel like it's annoying for everyone to have to try and figure out what to get you, and I'd rather not have anything than put someone through the anxiety of trying to find a gift, and is it the right gift or is it the wrong gift? And I'd rather it passed unnoticed.
Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't it?
It is a little bit sad. Sorry to just go off on a whole other tangent, that Chezzy was just texting on her phone.
Yeah.
And as she finished texting, I got a message from Domino's. Are you Domino's?
Wow.
I am.
Are you Moonlight? Do you write that
Well, it
on your
depends.
pass when you're going into another country now? I am Domino's.
Domino's.
What is your occupation? I am Domino's.
What does your message say?
Just says, be quick, get half price large traditional or premium pizzas. And literally, as you finished texting, you put your phone down,
busted.
it came through on my phone.
Let's get it. Let's get that pizza.
I'm busted. That's what happens because this podcast doesn't pay at
Let's
all.
make it the
So
best
we gotta-
birthday ever and get pizza.
We'll be
Let's
our
get
own
podcast
sponsors.
pizzas.
No, do you know what? We went out for lunch and we had a lovely lunch. We ate ribs and chicken and we had a cocktail and yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
A variety of meats.
A variety of
Not
meats.
just chicken.
That's right. All right. So, we've got a guest.
We've got a guest.
Yeah, we've got a guest. So Grant has no idea
Is it Osama bin Laden? That'd be a pretty good guest.
might be Sandra Sully.
Considering it might be Sandra Sally.
Grant has no idea about today.
Well, I knew it was
And
my
I feel
birthday.
weird about going on with this idea we had, Chezzy, considering what we've just heard from Grant.
No, that's it's going to work well. All right.
Does anybody like their birthday?
I don't know.
You do.
No,
Deep down
how
I
would
do.
you know?
I like it.
You haven't spent any birthday with me for the last 5 years. You've
been off.
always been away,
Off working
working,
to pay for the birthday.
bike riding down at
Oh, that was personal.
yeah.
Yeah.
last
You do like
year.
a belated celebration though, surely.
You had a nice
Or
time
preemptive
in
one before I go away.
Palm Springs last year with
Palm Springs, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, I was in Palm Springs, but I was over there
but-
meeting with everybody in all the American TV production companies.
All right, so caller number 1. Let's see if we can get somebody on the line here. Let's see.
Is it Ray Hadley?
No, you have to guess by their voice.
Are we really calling someone?
We are.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Can you just play some audio? I don't want
The
to talk to...
person you are calling
Oh,
is not available.
Right.
What?
Please
the-
leave
Yes.
a short message.
Oh,
Excellent.
I
Okay,
love
well,
how
that
you
worked.
framed it as. I love how you framed it as if someone called the show, but we're calling them.
Just putting everyone on the spot
Here we
here.
go. Yeah, hello, go ahead, call up. No, you called me.
They're still dialing.
Right. Okay. Oh, no. Here we go.
Dad, Craig.
Oh, it's given away the name. Hello, caller.
Who's this random voice of which I cannot distinguish?
What did I win? I heard there was a 6-pack of CDs up for grabs for the 10th caller.
And you got an icy cold can of Coke. The Black Thunders are going to drop it around to you shortly.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for joining us on the podcast. George is still puzzled.
I know these dulcet old radio tones. This would be the one and only Craig Denyer, would it not be?
Yes, it is. 6:25 and a half at 2GO, playing the hits you want to hear from the 2GO Tower of Power.
Yeah, there he is.
Amazing.
There he is. He hasn't lost it. He hasn't lost it.
Now, I asked your dad to join us to start off this great podcast record about your
Wow.
birthday because you are so uncomfortable talking about your birthday.
Yep.
And I thought it would be great to talk to your dad about what you were like when you were younger.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you have any juicy stories, Yoda?
Let me go right back to the start. I'll
Okay.
pass the bit where he was conceived, but let's go straight. Let's go straight to the birth. All right.
We'd only need a minute to get past that bit.
So it was Gosford Hospital, and it was about 7:30 of a night time, and his poor mother, Glenys, was having great difficulty giving birth to him. She'd been in labour some 21 hours.
Oh, my God.
And he was clearly destined for a career in television because he had a massive head. And she was having trouble passing that head, of course. And anyhow, she battled on for some 21 hours, as I said. She broke ribs in the labour process. She burst all the blood vessels in her eye just to get this little tagger out. And I was quite upset about it all too, because it was right in the middle of the Benny Hill show.
Yes.
And it was my favourite show at the time. And I had to run from, the waiting room watching Benny Hill in and out of the theatre while waiting for this little tacker to be born. So anyhow, he did pop out at about 8:45, just after Benny Hill had finished. And there he was, Grant Craig Denyer. News the world, born in Gosford, 1977. There you go.
Fathers of the
Wow.
70s. So hands-on. Weren't they? He was in the waiting room watching Benny Hill.
Did you ever think that you might have wanted to call him Benny after Benny Hill? You did?
Yeah, well, it was a wonderful era, and a wonderful era of television at that time as well. And, of course, guys in those days weren't really allowed in the theatre for the birth itself. You could pop in and say, hi, how you doing? And the moment that I saw how distressed your mother was, I was quite happy to leave and go back to the waiting room. And you weren't allowed to cut the cord or catch the baby or do any of that kind of stuff that you're allowed to do these days. So it was a different era. But yes, he popped into the world, and from that point on, he was a happy, healthy child.
Did you run into the labour ward and the music was and you did a little quick wave, and then some buxom blonde in a bikini came past you, and then it was just like a straight out of Benny Hill.
Yes, and pop the ball surgeon on the back of the head with your hat, with your hand, and tap him a couple of times and run out again. But another. I think he was destined to be on the stage, or at least on radio or television, because his first major impression, and he did this as a stand-up comedy show, I think at the Avoca Beach Primary School. And he must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5, but very, very young. And he had a beret on, a black beret and a brown trench coat and he did this wonderful impersonation of Frank Spencer from Smothers Whoever. Do you remember that, Grant?
I can remember it just a tiny bit. Yeah, I remember standing on stage and the curtains opening. That's all I can remember.
And can you still do your Frank Spencer?
Oh, Betty, the cat did a whoopsie on the carpet.
Not bad. And that was pretty good for a 4-year-old at the time, I've got to tell you.
God, 4 years old. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I do remember. I remember there being a lot of laughs and a lot of applause at the end, which I think then started the addiction of needing to be on television and then falling in love with the rapture of performing.
Yes, and that's how it all started, Shezzy, back then in 1977.
Wow.
Hey, Craig,
12th of
it's
September.
George. Sorry, mate. It's George here, Grant and Shezzy's. I don't know what I am now. Co-host, producer, something. I just chill and
Yes,
hang out with
George.
them. Hey, what is the greatest joy about being Grant Denier's dad?
Well, I've got to say that he's given me no grief, which over the years, which is quite rare. And he was always a delight to have around. And look, I'm very, very proud
This
of
is
what he's
Grant.
achieved.
Grant. You were talking about Grant.
Yeah, we're talking. I know we're talking to Grant, and I was very, very proud of the fact that he won Dancing with the Stars twice, because he picked up all the moves from me that I used to do at the high school dance at the Temora Strand Theatre. You know, back in those days when I was going to school in the '60s. And it was nice to see them all relived again on stage to such rapturous applause. And the fact that he raced cars successfully, the fact that he's won a gold Logie, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Not too many television guys go through their career winning a gold Logie. And so, yeah, very, very proud of him. And as I said, he's delivered us a wonderful wife and 3 lovely grandchildren, 2 dogs, and a myriad of other things that we find, like brown snakes and tarantulas and scorpions that we see when we go and visit the family farm.
Oh, that's funny.
It is a menagerie.
That is funny.
Oh, see? Look at that.
Very,
Memories.
very cool.
Memories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might have. I don't know if I said it in my Logie speech, but I've said it somewhere. It might have been a podcast the other day, just saying that both mum and dad have had an incredible sense of humour, but I very much got my work ethic from my dad. My dad always, when he always said, the 5 Ps. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performances. And I've watched him work as a kid, and when he works, he always gave 1,000%, and everything that he did, there was always something very special in everything he did. In fact, his other saying was, not everything has to be special, but there should be something special in everything. And they're kind of
that's very wise.
the foundations that I kind of used and have applied to my own professional life. So thank you for those gifts.
Yes. Well, thank you, but I never made any money out of them, Grant. They're wonderful sayings. But here I am on the wrong side of 65 and still working for a living, So I never made any money out of it. But I've got to tell you, life has been good and I would not change a thing. And the fact that I can have a birthday recently and have 3 of my former partners all together in the one day says that I can't be a bad bloke.
Very much loved.
Yeah, Barry, John, and Nathan. No, it is. You're right. Actually, the fact that blended families are a commonplace these days. But Dad was the OG. He was the pioneer. But it is great that your dad has this wonderful, he creates this castle where no matter what branch of the family you are from, everyone is welcome and everyone can just sort of blow in and out as they like. And that's a great way to run things. And it's testimony to you as a character that you've sort of kept all these relationships, ongoing and every member of the family feels as loved as the other, which is special.
We may have had some broken relationships, but we've never had a broken family, and that's the most important thing. But it's not my birthday, mate. It's yours. So many happy returns. I hope you have a very, very special day, and I'm sure Sailor, Scooter, and Sunday would have been up first thing this morning to deliver something special to you in bed.
Yep, I got the traditional breakfast in bed, which was lovely,
And you got a fork to the eye.
We got a fork to the eye, which was great.
From Sunday.
Little Sunday swinging around a lethal weapon.
Yeah, and some egg in your hair. So you can't be more loved than that.
As good as it gets.
That's right.
Well, the icy cold can of Coke, it's on its way around to you now. Thanks for calling in, caller. It's a privilege to have you on the air.
I love you guys. I listen to you all the time. You're fantastic.
Pleasure meeting you, Craig.
See you, CD.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Bye.
Oh, that was so good. Who do you think we've got next?
Oh, God, this is
this is so painful.
This
Don't
is-
worry.
this
No one
is
else is
horrible.
live. No one else is live.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So this is like,
Now, I want you to
this is your life.
kind of, but this is your life is kind of what happens at the end of your life. So this is not
Am
what's
I
happening at the
dying?
end. No.
Are you holding back some medical certificates that I haven't yet seen, and that's the final part of this podcast when you reveal that this is my last day on Earth?
No, stop looking at my phone. Stop looking. No, because we've had we had so many people contact us and want to give their messages of love. So we're just going to rattle off a couple and see if you recognise who they are.
It's Peter Brock.
I hope that this works.
We tried.
Did he answer?
Hey, legend. Happy birthday.
We love you, GD. You know that. You are the best. And have a big one. What's he?
He's mid-40s, so it's not milestone, or mid-50s. Mid-40s?
Mid-50s?
He could be mid-30s.
It's Hughesy and Aaron, by the way. You
So-
look mid-20s, but I
He
think
knows
you're
who the fuck
mid-40s.
we are.
He doesn't fucking know who the fuck we are.
in the background.
Yeah, this is audio, douchebag. It's on a podcast.
I thought it was a video.
Yeah, but I'm doing a video just so they can get the audio. Could you beep out the swearing? Love you, Shez. Bye.
Can we? Well, we've haven't come good on that last promise to beep out the swearing there. That was Hughesy and Aaron Molan.
Well, they gave themselves away. So
Oh, that's funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
that was funny.
How's their fight? Mid-50s? Fuck you.
Do you know what the funniest thing was? That as George and I were talking to people, everybody was genuinely shocked about your age. You're like the quintessential Peter Pan.
Yeah, because you've only got to listen to this podcast and realise how immature I am.
It's funny.
What are your secrets, though? Do you put a special lotion on your face, or do you drink a certain type of water? Like, what do you do for those men out there who want to have the complection and
It's
phone
semen.
color of
I
you?
get a special drop from the Tibetan yak that gets hand milked
Oh,
by a
God.
Sherpa that has come down from Everest, and with their
Can you
hands.
get it from Woolies?
Yeah, and they send me that serum and I put it on, and it makes me look 20 years younger or 15 years older, according to Erin.
Oh, I think she was just joking there. All right. So let me see.
No, I don't know why I look like I do. I'm lucky I've got my full head of hair. I know my dad always says how lucky I am because he doesn't have it.
You have got so much hair. Grant has a haircut every week and a half.
Just about. So I'm pretty lucky in that sense. So I think that does a lot of the talking for me, and I try and keep myself in reasonable nick. You know,
So you're just a naturally good-looking rooster.
although I'm not the tallest bloke, and as you get older, you shrink. So that's the last thing I'm looking forward to. I can't afford to give away another centimetre or two.
Straight to Hollywood. You're perfect Hollywood size. All right.
Thomas Cruise.
Speaking of Hollywood, here's
Yeah.
our next caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Happy birthday to you.
It's Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, our beautiful boy. Happy birthday, Grant. Can't believe you're that old. I thought you were younger because you look younger. Have a great day with all your friends and mates and your kids and your lovely wife. And wish you all the best for this year. Can't wait to see you on the great race. Bye for now.
Hey, the amazing Denise Drysdale, everybody.
Yes, well done. How did you pick that?
Well, her American accent at the start was really good. I really felt like I was John F. Kennedy, and that was Marilyn Monroe serenading me, as did happen in real life when they were secretly bonking on the side. Which
Are
I'm
you
not
and
doing
Denise?
with Denise doing. Just thought I'd clarify that. Denise Drysdale. Yeah, how good? Yeah, legend.
Yeah.
I look forward to the Great Race, which is actually called, if you're waiting for it, the Amazing Race. Just thought I'd correct that.
I thought she was referring to like your supercar stuff.
Yeah, the Great Race. Bathurst 1000 was called the Great Race there for a while.
The Melbourne Cup. Or...
Oh, she's a bit of a legend of Australian entertainment, isn't she?
And she absolutely loves Grant. So okay.
She's always been very generous whenever I've gone on Studio 10. She's good fun. We sat on the same table as her at the Logies. Remember? She threw grapes at us.
Yes.
When she'd had one too many glasses of grapes.
Now, Sailor keeps ringing and trying to interrupt this broadcast. She's calling both
Let's
our
get
phones.
her on the phone. Tell her on the podcast.
Okay, this is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
Hold on 1 second.
Get the dump button ready.
We may have to cut this out.
Hi.
Hi, darling. Just need to let you know that we are currently recording our podcast and you are on the podcast as we speak. Okay?
Hello, Sailor.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're not in trouble. We just thought we'd chat to you while we're recording. How are you?
What's up, people?
What's up, people? Where are you? What are you doing? Do you want to say hello to Australia who loves listening to this podcast, has only heard about you, not from you before. So you can say hello to everyone.
What's up, Australia? I'm on their podcast. Their jaws just dropped to the floor. We're all grinning so much.
We're doing an episode.
Can our friends talk on the podcast too, just for a brief second?
Yeah.
Sure.
Say hi to Australia. Hi, hello.
Oh, hello. Who have we got?
We've got Ellie and we've got Audrey.
Where are you guys?
We're on the bus.
You're on the bus.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
good.
Okay.
All right.
I was wondering if you were using your old computer. Laptop, same thing.
No, we're using our current computer. This could probably wait till later, though. Yeah, we're using our...
No, you're using the old one and the new one?
No, I got the new one. We're using the new one now.
We are. But anyway, Sailor, say happy birthday and then we're going to let you go.
Well, I was just going to ask if you... Never mind. Happy birthday.
Never mind, happy birthday. What do you love about your dad so much?
So much more on the podcast than you do in real life.
You wait till you get home, young lady.
Hilarious. Oh, that is so funny. Hey, you've just made my birthday with that funny call there, Sailor. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll see you when you get home, darling. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, what a rat bag. How come you laugh more on the podcast than you do at home?
Brilliant.
Oh, wow.
Give that girl a gig. That's a great sledge from a 12-year-old.
That is a...
Does she listen to the podcast?
No. I think she was just saying that I was sitting here laughing.
She's trying to say Mum's very serious pants. And then all of a sudden she's tuned into the podcast and Mum's all happy as Larry. She's going, why don't we get a bit more of that at home? That's what...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. How's that?
She will be sweating bullets now until I pick her up.
Hey, Mum, why are you nice to everyone else in Australia on your bloody podcast but not me when I'm at home?
Oh, classic.
It's because...
Just got to pretend you're rolling the entire time, that the life is just a continuous podcast.
It's because Mum doesn't have to clean the rest of Australia's bedrooms. That's why.
Exactly right.
That's why Mum's happier on the podcast.
Exactly, because I just get to sit here and poke fun.
That's a very funny sledge.
How dare she? All right.
I fully endorse her humour, by the way.
Well, you would, because it's your sense of humour.
She got it from you?
All righty.
It's pretty much...
Who we got now?
She pretty much said...
I know exactly what she pretty much said. She pretty much said, Mum, you're an actual, cow.
Why are you so
at
nice to
home."
everyone else and why are you such a bitch to us?
That's exactly what she was saying. How rude.
That's amazing.
I'm glad you got a giggle out of that one. All right. Next caller.
Grant Denyer, you old fuck. It's internet sensation no one's heard of, Christian Hull. I wanted to say you are, by far, one of the sexiest men on television. I'm surprised you're only 46, though. I definitely thought you were in your late 50s. What? It's because television ages you. And children. Children ages you so rapidly. Sexiest man alive. I'm hanging out. If you're ever interested, I have an OnlyFans if you want to do a collab. You are so wonderful. So beautiful, so deserving of all this praise. I want to say big happy birthday. When I next see you, I'm going to give you 46 tongue pashes. It's on.
Jesus. Hey, Christian Hull.
Christian
he
Hull.
obviously introduced himself.
Yeah, okay. So some of these people have introduced themselves because that's a little leg up for you.
Now, Christian worries me. I worked with him and he was the quietest, sweetest little flower. And now he's really come alive. As he said, he does have an OnlyFans account.
He's very confident.
He's now found his confidence.
He said that you went up to him when he came on, when he first kind of really met you. He came on your show, Celebrity Name Game. And you went up to him and you said, I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for coming on my game show.
Did I?
Yes. And he said that made his absolute day because he said he'd had a crush on you for years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also on the Sexiest Man Alive thing, they are doing a voting system right now. So to anyone listening to this podcast, I think it's through, would it be Take 5 or one of those magazines? They are now voting for the Australia's Sexiest Man. So Grant Denyer for that title, surely.
That's incredible. I once got voted Sexiest Man in Australia by gay magazine, DNA magazine.
Yes, and I think Christian might have nominated you.
I think he might have nominated me. And then I think
that magazine.
I think he might have also stuck a few of those pages together. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
All right.
Special glue.
He's not afraid.
Are you ready for another one? Yeah? Are you enjoying this now?
Nope.
Okay.
It's the last time we ever do
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grant. Grant, it is Jessica Rowe here. How are you? Happiest of birthday to you, my darling. I hope you are having the best day. I hope you are being gentle on yourself, thinking, look at what I have achieved in all of these years. Take a moment for yourself, celebrate and marvel in your wonderfulness. Sending you all my love. Happy birthday. Woohoo!
She's a bright little bit of sunshine,
Isn't she? Yes.
Yeah, Jess Rowe. She's lovely. Former host of the Today Show, former 10 Newsreader, podcaster. You know, she's a bit of a superstar. And always...
Has your birthday... Sorry to interrupt. Has your birthday just become, let's pick out a celebrity and just talk, like dot point who they are?
Yes.
What they do?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And your connection with them. Yes.
Well, she's always been really sweet. Like when I was young and upcoming in the media, not everyone, it's a pretty ferocious environment.
Yeah.
It's a dog eat dog kind of world. But she was one of the rare ones that was just, no matter how low on the ladder you were, she treated you as well as anyone who was on top of the ladder, if not better. She's got a beautiful, tender heart.
She really does. I remember when I did Studio 10, when I went into co-host Studio 10 a few years back, and it moves really quickly. And I'd not done it in, that studio. I'd never done anything like that before.
Live national television, and you're right. The thing goes for 47 hours.
It's very long, and there was certain lines that I had to read from the auto cue that nobody kind of warned me about. And Jess sat there, talked me through the whole process, basically held my hand, and she's always been like that. She is an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, we're on her podcast recently. Yeah, she's exceptionally generous sort of a person, and not everybody is.
No, very genuine.
Yeah, she's lovely. Obviously married to Peter Overton, the newsreader for Channel 9 Sydney.
I love it how she calls him Petey. That is pretty.
And what does he call her though? Is it like Pussycat or something?
Oh, probably.
I think I
heard that.
I think you're right. I think it's something like that. Yeah. They're cute.
They are so cute. Do you remember we went to John Farnham and we sat next to them and they just held hands and they're so like in love and he's so protective of her and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
A bit like you and I, really,
we're
isn't
not
it?
holding hands now though.
Well, I would.
Pinching you in the back of the arm because I hate this. as lovely as the effort it has been.
Oh,
no, it's nice. It's nice.
All these people absolutely love you.
Well,
How lucky.
As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going to say, why aren't you laughing as much as you were on the podcast? That's what I...
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great line. Sorry. That's fantastic.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh my God. I'm going to kill you,
Anytime
Sailor.
you snap at any of us for, for, I don't know, leaving a mess or stuffing up, I'm going to use that line from now on. And you know what?
This smile is genuine.
You
He
answered
genuinely
the phone. So I'm like, I didn't say the line. I'm only using it against you.
All
So
right,
much
it's
fun.
your birthday, so I'll let you get away with it. All right. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Grant Denyer, my favourite radio co-host
Evie Jones.
that I've ever worked with in my entire life. I adore you. Happy birthday, my love. I hope you're well. I miss you. I wish you lived just so much closer so I could just come and hug you anytime I wanted. And Shezzy and the girls. Have a beautiful, beautiful birthday because you're a beautiful, beautiful man. And I can't wait to see you two bring it home on The Amazing Race. Love you.
Oh, she's a
great
sweetheart.
race.
It's a great race. That's Evie Jones. To dot point her career, she was on Gogglebox with Angie Kent. She was also in The Jungle on I'm a Celebrity. She does have her own podcast, Two Girls, One Pod, I think it's called. I think that's what theirs is called.
I think she's doing it on her own now. So
Yep.
it might be one girl, one pod.
What else have she done?
That was you a few episodes ago, Shezzy.
It was. It was. It was me.
Highest rating ever.
Oh,
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
I did a summer radio with her, George. As you know, you're climbing the ladder of commercial radio, and so sometimes what happens is when a regular radio show, goes on the Christmas break, and they want a fill-in show, and that's your chance to sort of, show your true skills, and then hopefully get a foot in the door. So one Christmas, Evie and I did a radio show together, and it was really good fun. It was nice and funny. She's a pretty loose sort of operator, so it always made it pretty funny.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's good fun.
Her character on Deadlock was so
Oh, yeah.
her. Remember? She was like...
That's
Yeah.
right.
I just find her voice very soothing, very calming. Evie Jones.
It's very well rounded. Very
Well done.
Structured.
You picked that well. All right. Let me try and find one that's a little bit trickier.
Steve Irwin. Look how uncomfortable George.
Now I want
It's
you to...
like 3 names this episode that have made me so uncomfortable.
Now, as soon as you know this voice, I want you to put your hand up to say stop, okay? It's like now...
George wants to laugh and then he thinks, I'm going to hell if I laugh, so I can't laugh.
He's thinking that
I'll
this
just have to mute
podcast...
my microphone so the camera doesn't point to me.
He's thinking this podcast episode is going to make him lose his career. Grant's enjoying the side giggles. All right. As soon as you recognise his voice, I want you to put your hand up and we'll see if you're right.
Well, are you going to pause it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Happy birthday, my dog.
Tony Quinn, my longtime motor racing sponsor.
From Big Dog. It's Tony Quinn here. Happy birthday, mate.
Oh, okay, right. I thought there might have been more. He's normally the chattiest bloke in the world.
Oh, I did think that was kind of short for Tony, but anyway,
Yeah.
they were packing for America, so yeah.
He was one of my first ever sponsors in motorsport. So yeah, he sponsored me in the Ute series when I first started racing Utes, and we've been racing together now for near on 20 years. So he's he's gone on to become a very successful businessman. And yeah, he's
Good sense of humour.
And yeah, he does, and he's supporting a lot of young racing car drivers coming up. He owns the 888 V8 Supercar racing team. Here I go with my dot points again.
Take notes.
But he's also supporting a young Kiwi race, supporting a lot of races, but a young Kiwi racer called Liam Lawson, who is now filling in for Daniel Ricciardo in Formula One at the moment. So
Really?
Tony's helped foster him
Wow.
along from the young categories up and now into F1. So he's a bit of a godfather of the sport.
Well, funny that
there's
you've
no
mentioned.
wonder his birthday message was short.
Yeah,
got so
he's
much on his
busy.
plate. Yeah.
Well, clearly I'm low priority for him now that he's got someone in Formula One. He's going to save the longer messages for someone who's a bit more than the 2003 V8 Ute Championship winner.
Well, speaking of Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, here he is.
No, it's not Daniel Ricciardo.
Wow, damn it. Is it Toto Wolff? That'd be awesome. Grant, it's Toto here.
Not quite, but
Head of Mercedes Formula One.
similar vein.
What? Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
Louise Hay.
Oh, no, it's not working.
Oh, what's wrong?
Did you turn the microphone down? No, okay.
No, it's up.
Just hold on a second.
Okay. This is an interesting
Do,
lead into this.
do,
Now
do.
I've got no idea who you're talking about.
Grant Denyer, Garth Tander here. Just want to wish
GT.
the world's shortest 46-year-old a happy birthday from a 46-year-old that is slightly taller than you are. Happy birthday, mate.
Hey, the great man, GT.
Yes.
Racing legend.
We have a lot of fun standing next to one another. We always joke that we should do the Bathurst 1000 together. He could do the pedals and I can do the steering.
How does that work if you have someone who's twice your size, like twice your height, and you have to sit in the race car after them?
Well, he was teammates with Jason Bargwanna way back in the day, and Jason
right.
Bargwanna's my height. So you're not allowed to have the seat on rails because it's a bit of a safety hazard. So you have to have these big seat inserts that you throw in, and then before you jump in, basically a booster seat that's like a little kid's booster seat that is shaped to your back and your butt.
But does that push you forward enough to be able to reach the pedals? Because, like,
it can do, depending on the size of it. But people don't tend to they don't mismatch in size that much anymore because it's too many awkward complexities to it.
but like if you were Garth Tander, who's very tall, there wouldn't be too many other drivers who are the same size as you.
Well, he was driving with Shaven Van Gisbergen, who was the same size as him. Yeah,
Oh, right,
but
okay.
yes, but
Scratch
normally for
that.
him, he's got smaller drivers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
In the changeover, is it a little bit like longer, or do you have a bit of a system to like put that insert in?
It's a
quicker,
fraction, just a fraction longer, but I'm only talking like maybe 2 seconds, just to throw
Yeah, right.
throw that insert in. They're designed to slip in and out really quickly. They're just a one solid piece that just sort of made up of high density but very light foam that you just sort of throw in there and then away you go.
Was that a good surprise?
That was a good
Hearing
surprise.
Garth's voice?
Well, mate, he's
he's got a great voice, doesn't he? He sounds like someone.
Well, he does. He's
famous.
He's broadcasting now, right? So he works on the telecast, or the V8 Supercar telecast. Plus, he's still an enduro driver. He's won Bathurst 3 times. Yeah, and he's a bit of a legend. We've always got on really well. Because I always laugh that when I was racing go-karts, this would have been 1998 maybe, in the New South Wales State Championships. I qualified on pole position, and Garth's former partner, Leanne Tander, was in second position, and I'd never been on pole before, and I was so excited. This is my big break. This is my first, hopefully the first title I was ever going to get. And then the flag dropped and the race starts, and she punted me off in the first corner, and I ended up in the sand trap.
Oh my God, how vicious.
I've never let it go. And I've reminded her and him for a good 20 years.
Oh my God.
So whenever we have a beer together, I always give it to them.
How do you punt someone off in a go-kart?
Mate,
It sounds
she was
pretty-
ruthless.
Yeah, right.
Just on the go-karts.
Yeah.
Sorry, just on the go-karts. What did you get a go-kart for one of your 46th birthdays so far?
I did get a you're right, I was. It was probably maybe my 14th or 15th.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a car.
That would have been like the first proper thing for you to drive around in.
Yeah, that was I wanted it for years, and my parents wouldn't give it to me. No one wanted to believe in my dream because it's an expensive dream and it's an impossible dream. But I believed in my dream. And Dad was kicking around the fringes of motorsport, right? So it was sort of, it was.
So he really knew the expense of it.
Yeah, he did not want me to go down that path. Tennis or golf is what he wanted me to do.
That's such a parent thing, isn't it?
Well, the other parent thing that they did was you can't get a go-kart until you get your grades up. So
that's a good incentive.
You know, well, I've discussed it on this podcast before. Not the smartest kid. School really kind of didn't work for the way I operate, and
so you cheat.
Yeah. So I cheated and
Paid the teachers off, but did it work?
I got my grades up, and they still didn't give me the go-kart. And I was like, "Listen here, you pricks, we had a deal."
Oh no!
And so when they tried it on me the second year, I was like, "Nah, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. You got to come good on your promises." And they did. But they knew that the moment the go-kart arrived in my life, that school would go out the back door. And you know what? It did.
That's very.
And they were right.
That's very ADHD to
What's
be
that?
able to get your grades up, to like focus enough just because you have an end goal.
Mate, you and I both know I'm the most undiagnosed ADHD person
Right. Okay. All right.
That's next episode.
That is next episode.
Name this doctor.
Diagnose me with what? All righty. Who is this one?
The next
Grant Denyer. Happy 726th birthday, mate. Once a weatherman, always a weatherman.
Tim?
You know,
Tim Davies, Channel 9 weatherman from the Today Show.
Yep. Let's listen to that again.
Grant Denyer. Happy 726th birthday, mate.
rude.
Once a weatherman, always a weatherman. And you know, for us, the birthdays are seriously like dog years. To be honest, though, with all the crazy stuff that you have done, Grant, I'm shocked you've made it this far. I'm only kidding. I saw this come up in my calendar and I just wanted to send you a little cheerio. And I hope that you have an awesome day and a brilliant year ahead. And cheers to many more celebrations to come. See you, mate.
Ah, Timmy, that's sweet.
How cool is that? He sent a photo actually of a memory that popped up on his Facebook or something from 11 years ago, where he did a birthday weather cross, which you were not happy about. Now we know why. Where he dressed you up in streamers and a similar vein to this podcast. Yeah.
Oh, that's
he
good.
said you were not keen on it.
No. It's uncomfortable as hell.
Tim Davies was the producer when Grant was the weatherman on Sunrise. He was the poor producer when we flew over to the London Olympics and we got the twisted testicle. Well, Grant did. And we had to fly back home after being there for like 12 hours.
Yep.
So Tim had spent all this time getting all these passes, his security clearance.
He'd organised 2 weeks worth of crosses, live crosses,
which is really
6
hard.
crosses a day. And I've arrived with massive elephantitis of the testicale and in excruciating amount of pain.
Yeah.
And then just
That's a quick turnaround in more than one way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the doctor at the hospital's like, mate, you don't want to be here in this health system. Get home.
You got to get home.
Get
if
home
you
if you
can.
So that poor Tim, all of Tim's work was just gone to waste. But great to see him grow up and then go on to because he was Kyle and Jackie O's news guy there for a while. And then, he was sort of reading the news breaks on Channel 9 and now he's sort of got the weather gig. So I feel like I trained him up, which is cool.
That's so nice.
We only have 47 more celebrities to go,
Excellent.
GD.
Alphabetically now, let's move on to D.
No, there's not too many more, but they're all filed in different spots because I couldn't compile
Interesting.
them. Interesting.
Can't find them because of the files.
Yes.
Like this podcast when after we record them, you call them weird things and I can never find them on the
It's an
computer.
off-air chat, darling. All right, you ready?
Why don't you laugh like this normally around the house?
What up, Jungle Daddy? I bet you can guess who this
Hey!
is. It's me, Ali Simpson.
Ali Simpson.
Happy birthday. Happy 46. You do not look a day over 26. I just want to say have the best day with all your loved ones and thank you for making all of my last shows the best experience ever because I absolutely love you and adore you and I will cherish what we had together in there forever. And Mama Ange says, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Denya. I have to say, though, your wife rocks.
We love you. Happy birthday. Bye.
Bye. Oh, that's cool. She's nice.
Jungle Daddy.
Yeah. She only dropped that on us when we were in The Amazing Race.
I know.
Because obviously we did I'm a Celebrity and Ali was in it. She sort of parachuted in partway through the series and now we're doing the Amazing Race with her and her mum. And yeah, she called me Jungle Daddy when we first saw her on the show, and it was a weird title.
It was really cute though. No, she said that she was really,
She walked in and
was
it's
petrified.
It's terrifying. And we'd already gone through the traumatic bits because we'd been in there 4 or 5 days already, so we'd gone through that kind of this is a lot, and our emotions had started to settle. And they tortured her on the way in. Like, they absolutely obliterated her in her first challenge.
That challenge, like where they put her in an underground room and they dropped stuff on her. That was like, that's full on.
It was full on for the poor thing. And she comes into the jungle and we're kind of, a new person. So we're all excited, and it was a bit overwhelming for her. And then I could sort of see her starting to go into what looks like shock.
Can you imagine how much you guys smelt?
Yeah, we would have been rank.
It would have been revolting, and she's just like come in. She's already probably
doesn't know
nervous,
anyone, right? Like we're all in there. We're all in our own clique. Yeah. She doesn't know anyone, and all I did was I was like, "Are you okay?" And then she just went and just burst into tears.
Aww.
And then I just gave her a big cuddle, and then kind of just helped her through the first few days because it's a lot. I know it's just a TV show and it doesn't look like it's a lot, but it's a lot. So the poor little thing, she was a bit fragile in there for a little bit until she found her feet. Yeah, she's sweet.
Yeah, and it was so nice seeing them, like when we first started on The Amazing Race. I know we're not allowed to talk
I wonder
about
how
it,
they'll go. I wonder how we'll go.
Oh, I don't know, Grant.
Wow, I wonder if George has seen a promo yet.
Yes, have you watched the promo, George?
After that episode, I watched it the full way through. You'll be happy to know.
Wow, you made it all the way through 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, a minute and a half. I made it through.
Oh, classic.
Oh, interesting. It's pretty good.
You really were the father figure, though, on that jungle show.
Yeah,
you were very sweet.
I don't know. I think Colin sort of was as well. Yeah,
I had a couple of dads in the jungle.
Yeah, there was a few dads in there. But yeah, you just you have to spot one another because everyone will have an up and down day at different times. And every day, every half day, someone's having a down. So you just sort of scan the group and you can see who's struggling and you just sort of help them out a little and you go and have a little chat with them or you try and, tell them a funny story or just tell some jokes to brighten their spirit up. But yeah, you become quite hyper aware of everyone's struggles in there because there's nothing else to focus on, to be honest.
Yeah, but also some people just retreat and worry about themselves.
But you watch for that as well because you can tell when...
No, not mentioning any names.
You're talking about me. Right, okay.
No, not you. Just not mentioning any names. But some people just like to look after themselves in the jungle, not worry about cooking or what they're looking after. But that wasn't you.
So our next caller is Robert Dippy Domenico. Dipper, come in hot, brother. Let's talk us through the time you wanted to kill me on the Jungle Show and punch me head in for daring to touch your beans.
No, you said to him that he should have been watching, and
he fell asleep.
Yeah,
and he burnt all our food. But he wouldn't let us touch his food. So when he fell asleep, we're all like, do we get up and touch his food and risk being, setting him off? Or should we just hope that he wakes up shortly? And so everyone chickened out, including me. And then when he woke up and then when we tried it and it was so disgusting, it was inedible. And that's all we had to eat for the entire day. And I was like, I got to do this. Everyone was too afraid. I thought, we got to say something. So all I did was, bro. If you're going to have a sleep, just pass the wooden spoon to someone else. That's all you need to do. And then, the bear got his shackles up. What'd you say?
Flagging.
You say it one more time, I'm going to come over there. And did he threaten to punch me? I know it. And he pushed his hand his finger into my chest so hard.
I don't think that made the edit.
Oh, yeah, that bit didn't make the edit.
I was going to say, I've never heard this story.
Yeah. I don't think that made the edit. And
he wanted to kill me.
Do think that they asked us not to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it might paint him in a bad light.
I literally thought he was going to punch my head in. So did everybody else.
Yes.
But anyway, we got over it.
Well, he didn't send in a birthday message, but...
Did he send in some beans that weren't cooked?
Some burnt beans. But who do you think this one is?
Dania, you old horsebox. Just wanted to say a huge happy birthday
Tristan
to you.
McManus.
Tristan McManus here. 46. Huh? 1 year for every inch you are tall. You're an absolute legend. I love you. I'm so happy that you've come into our life. And I'm after smashing me fucking knee on the table there. Just wanted to say, have the best birthday. You and Shezzy, you're great. Fair play to you.
Hey, abrupt finish, but heartfelt.
That's because he hit his knee.
I broke my fucking knee on the fucking table.
Did you hear how loud he hit it?
Yeah, that was pretty loud.
It was loud.
And I like the fact that he went with that take rather than redo it. You know what I mean? He's a busy man. He's got a lot of hours of television.
He's now
to make.
in hospital. He's now in hospital with his knee infection.
He's got the fucking knee reconstruction over. It's good to find some good over to Rambo to pay for my knee reconstruction.
Do you know, Tristan is a massive fan of this podcast. Like,
When does he have time to listen to it?
He listens to every episode. He always recites back what the episodes were about. He's fully into it. So
he's one bloke who deserves all the success that he gets, because he was on. I first met him on Dancing with the Stars when he was I was hosting. He was a judge. And just, again, another lovely bloke that deserves a great opportunity. And look at him now, mate. Studio 10 every morning. He's flying.
Yeah.
Bloody flying.
Now, we've only got nice people from your past here. So here's one that George organised.
Ex-girlfriend?
We said nice people from your past.
Oh, the burns are coming hot this episode.
I can't wait to send this one on.
You don't know who I'm talking about? Oh, I could be talking about your first girlfriend from preschool. Good night.
First girlfriend from preschool.
Well, this person knows.
Taya Van Haren, her name was.
This person knows.
Happy birthday, Grant Denyer. Ben Fordham here, my friend. Just wanted to say, have a fantastic day, mate. I still think back to all of the times that we had together in preschool, and I remember you standing up in front of Miss Simons as a preschooler saying, I'm going to be famous one day, and we all laughed at you, and you said, no, seriously, I'm going to be better than all of you people, every single one of you. And, it was probably a little bit difficult to hear, but you've proven yourself, and it's your birthday. Happy birthday, big fella. Love you. Bye.
The great Ben Fordham.
I think that your big pash left him, a little
I've
speechless.
left an impression. Yes, there was a telethon we were doing it for, and I said, how about we kiss for money? And I thought he'd be hesitant to go with it because he's
a serious newsman.
Serious bloody broadcaster, number one radio jock in the country. And mate, I walked over to him and he just grabbed me and pulled me in. And the only way to describe it was like a mauling. It was like a pit bull
aggressive
on a chihuahua. Just wow. He's a good fella. And we didn't go to primary school together.
It was preschool, actually.
Preschool.
Yeah. I thought it was very cute.
I don't think we did we? Was he joking? I'm pretty sure. No, he would have. No, he would have brought that up previously.
He's pulling your leg.
He's pulling my leg.
Yeah. But it's a cute story.
Cute story.
All right. We got time for one more.
Jesus, this is never ending.
How cool are these, though? This is a good memory,
You
isn't
wait
it?
till I get you back.
No,
Bloody
can't wait.
boyfriends, ex-husbands, you name it. Siblings.
We'll just ring up Sailor.
Just 45 minutes of Sailor throwing shade.
A roasting.
Oh, that'd be pretty easy. The girls are pretty good at throwing shade on me. Oh, your laugh is too loud.
That's so funny.
All right. Now, this caller is coming in from Saint-Tropez, overseas.
Saint-Tropez?
Yeah. Saint-Tropez.
Oh, God. Here we go. Larry Emder.
Bloody Grant Denyer, hey? Larry Emder calling, or Larry Michael Emder, as you call me when I'm in trouble. Mate, happy birthday. This is such a nothing birthday. It means nothing to anyone. It's not even worth my data downloading this message. But, mate, happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. You know now that all your testicles will start to sag.
Excellent.
Probably the first two, and then the last one will sag when you turn 50. So we saw most of them on Dancing with the Stars, but everything's okay there, mate. Hopefully just once you get into those diapers, everything's fine and happily supported. Mate, hope you have a beautiful day. I love what we have. I love our relationship, mate. I love it that we can take the piss out of each other on the greatest TV stage in Australia and still be mates and know that it's such a strong, great relationship that crosses all these stupid network and political lines. So, mate, have a great day. Wish I was there drinking. What are you drinking nowadays? What, like a lemon bitter with a little umbrella in it or something?
Jeez.
All right, mate. Happy birthday. Lots of love. And Shazzy, call me when this gets serious, like a 50th or a 60th. Don't waste my bloody data on this shit.
This birthday's not even worth my data. Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, how good is that? I
What
know.
a wanker.
Oh.
In Saint Tropez. And he friggin' is too. I can see him on Instagram.
Oh, don't look.
He was standing at the front of Michael Jordan's yacht the other day, which is like a $150 million yacht with a basketball court on it. And he's just walking along all these jetties, I think, hoping to be called onto some super uber famous person's enormous mega yacht.
And we've just taken time out of his day to go and record a message. And poor old Laz, he sent through a couple of blank ones first up with no voice.
He's had a few too bloody
He's
many
there.
spritzes himself, by the sounds of it.
Oh, happy birthday, Grant.
Oh, that's fun. Let's never do this again.
Yeah. Happy birthday. You're such a special person and you
yes,
never ever
special.
let us celebrate you, but we love you. We love you very much.
Shazzy, can you sing Happy Birthday to Grant, please?
Yes, please.
Happy birthday to you. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
Happy birthday.
Okay, why aren't you this joyous when we're not recording the
Oh,
podcast?
God, I'm going to hear that all the time.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. It's a lovely way to make me feel special. You've put some work into this, and I appreciate it because I don't put a lot of work into the podcast, but I have noted this, and now the bar has been set, and your birthday's coming up in a couple of months, so get ready.
Oh, get ready because you...
First kiss, first root, first divorce. I'm going through them all.
Because you won't even be around, probably. Now, before we go, I just wanted to read out 2 messages.
Oh.
So Emma Hawkins, she is the wife of AFL superstar Tom Hawkins.
What? Emma Hawkins? That's Yellow Wiggle. That's Emma Wiggle, isn't it? Emma Hawkins?
That's Emma Watkins.
Watkins. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Good. Thank you, brother.
So she sent a message saying, I just wanted to message after listening to your amazing husband's podcast with the Imperfects. Can you please thank him for being so open, brave and vulnerable in sharing his story? I was so moved and just wanted to say thank you. You're both incredible people and your daughters are so lucky to have such brave and strong parents.
Oh, God, that's lovely.
Yeah, she said, I'm not quite sure what the point of my message is, but I was just so moved and I just wanted to tell him thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Emma.
Lots and lots of messages coming in about the Imperfects still. So
Yeah.
it's definitely touching a lot of people.
I'm still getting, tons of messages. I get not one message about this podcast, but I'm getting lots about appearing on theirs.
Well, we've also got a message about this podcast that I'll just read out. Oh my God, Shezzy, the jizz eye. I had the exact same thing about 20 years ago.
Oh, God.
I lived in Orange at the time and the doctor swabbed for chlamydia. I was so stressed until the results came back as a staph infection. He had worked in Outback Australia for a stint, so was saying that flies can transfer it from eye to eye.
Oh, of course.
I was only 21-ish and was devastated to think I could have an STI in my eye. I have had the chalazions, I don't know how to pronounce that, a few times since and have had to have them lanced, resulting in a couple of black eyes. I've never heard of another person ever having it. Thank you so much for putting yourself out there. And I'm so glad to hear that you're on the mend.
Yeah.
What a fellow.
It's nice to sort of feel someone else that has experienced what you've gone through.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't get written about very often, this podcast, in the daily newspapers, but I'm glad they picked up that one.
But the stuff is so random that they write about. There was another headline this week that 'cause people send it to me. They're like, oh my God, the Daily Mail's back at it. I don't even bother reading the stories anymore because the stories never match the headlines.
No, ever.
But the headlines are hilarious. So I think
Shezzy Denya assaulted by koala.
No. Now they're drawing like some kind of conclusion between Grant passing out on The Amazing Race because he's on pain medication. Shezzy can't see it.
Oh, I
injures
see.
her
So
eye.
because I was on the Imperfects,
Yes.
talking about
Like
pain
12 years
medication
ago.
from 12 years ago, and now the promo that's out now,
Correct.
they're drawing
The
a
Amazing
link
Race.
between both of those. Well, one was, well, we can't really say why. No, we can't say
No, we
why.
can't
I
say
passed
why.
out.
Yeah.
Unrelated, anyway. They're completely unrelated.
Yeah.
And your link was what?
I can't see it.
Right.
Yeah. So
The next headline will be your kind of, I guess, mood outside of the podcast studio.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Moving
right.
forward.
Yeah.
No, the next
Shezzy's a serious
story will be Denya family
face.
crisis. Mother and daughter to sit through mediation.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mum and daughter therapy.
Yes. Actually, I have to blame George because it's whatever George makes up our promos that seems to be that's what they
Well, I
write
always
about.
go for the juicy bits, the bits that are going to really
You're very
capture
good at
the attention.
picking the good bits, mate. That's actually, it's quite a skill because
Yeah.
there's a lot to condense. There's a lot of takeaways from our podcasts, and I hope. But you're very good at picking promos. I must admit.
Oh, thank
You
you.
always have been, actually.
What do you think the promo will be for this week's episode, George?
Well, definitely the intervention, the moment where Sailor turns on you, for sure.
Unsolicited as well. That wasn't pre-recorded. That wasn't set up. She's just, as soon as the line is opened, she's just slapped you in this podcast.
I can't believe it. Ugh. And how's her little friend? They're like, "Hi, we're live to Australia."
That's pretty cute.
That is pretty
The
cute.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's a global medium. The
And
whole
you know-
podcasting.
This is huge.
And they'll be like, "What are they doing?" So they'll be, I
I
don't
wonder
know.
if anyone's listening from anywhere else in the world. It'd be good to hear from them. Wonder if I don't know,
Oh,
maybe you're in
yes.
Alaska and you're on a tuna boat.
Send us a review. Write a review. Oh, they might not be able to write a review, but
Why?
send us a note from wherever you are. Actually, you could make it up. You
How
could,
did they send you a note?
I don't know, via
Give us some details.
Messenger or Facebook,
DMs on Insta?
Instagram,
Yeah, just DMs on the gram.
or
Or
even
a photo of you listening to the podcast. Send us a selfie of you listening to the podcast in your patch.
Yeah, and we can put them up. We'll put them up. We'll put them up on our accounts. Whatever it
It's
is
all
that we
True
do.
World Tour.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's pretend that we have a really good prize, like a cruise for two.
Maybe you're a shepherd in Switzerland, and you're looking over the flock on top of a mountaintop, listening to the podcast.
You wouldn't listen to this podcast.
I don't know. Maybe you would.
Maybe you're a stripper from Backer Burke.
Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe it's been a long shift, and you're just looking
Stripper
for a
from
little
the
bit of a
back
break,
of Burke. Oh my god.
and you
This
just
has
want
just gone real.
Just want an escape, and then you listen to the It's All True podcast.
And you really relate to Jizz-Eye.
Yeah, you go, mate. I've been there. I know what it's like, bro. Don't be ashamed.
Relatable.
We've all got to make a living. It's okay.
Maybe you feed crocodiles in the top end of Australia and you go, you know what? I just want to listen to a bit of GD, Shez and Large Sarge.
Maybe you're in the clink. Maybe you're doing time, and you're listening to the podcast.
We don't care.
Let us know. What have you done? What are you in for?
We don't discriminate.
We don't. We want to know you because
Yeah.
you know fucking everything about us. Let's find out about
Absolutely everything.
That's so true.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not worth your data to send it to us. But if it is,
In the words of Larry.
we'd appreciate it.
George, just before we go, you've got a few new board games up there. What the hell is Tension?
Yeah, what is tension?
Tension. Oh, wouldn't you guys like to know? That's for a little bit later on
How
tonight.
do you relieve it?
Yeah, where did it come from?
It's a really old game, guys.
And it's looking a bit neat.
Categories next to it?
Yes.
Categories. We've got Cluedo. We've got a Australian Commercial Radio Award as well.
Oh, yes.
It's good of you to point that out.
What's next to
Bluetooth
it?
speaker. We've got Larry Emder's book there.
Do you?
Joel Creasy there. Elton John.
Oh, yeah, there's Elton John.
And a few of my sex toys, but let's cover that
yeah,
over.
And the book.
Oh.
Not worry about that.
Where did I come from? Is also there.
Actually, I should really look into that because there's probably some things in there that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you might want to just because sometimes our listeners and viewers, if you're watching on YouTube, are eagle-eyed and eagle-eared, and maybe they've just zoomed in just to see
They've got
what's
a
on your
really
shelf.
good impression of you now, George.
Oh, there was this lady on the news the other day who was doing a live cross on the BBC, and on the shelf behind her, she had a dildo.
What? I feel
she
like
had a
that's
BBC.
been
You
done.
commented on it, I think. I think I might have put it up. Yeah, I think I might have put up my stories, and I think you might have laughed at it.
Yes. I
Is
do
it
remember.
new or old?
No, it was only like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, she's doing a live cross to the BBC. BBC's so formal, right?
Yeah.
And she must have been talking about something important. I don't know what it was, bloody world affairs or whatever. And she literally just had this giant dick on one of the shelves in the background, and she's clearly forgotten about it.
Oh my God.
So funny. So funny.
Oh,
there must have been so much of that from the whole
God.
work from home period of COVID, like just people forgetting, to clear the background or.
Can you imagine how embarrassed?
Think of what Sailor just did when we answered her call when she rang in, right? Like think of how many people were doing live Zooms from home when family members came in or.
Yeah, I remember
Oh.
seeing that footage, where the kids kept coming in.
And the mum's dragging them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
what are your plans after this podcast record, GD, to wrap up your birthday?
I think I'm just going to cap my age at 46 and just leave it there and just be done with it. This will be the last birthday. So don't worry about it anymore. I'm good. I'll just leave it here.
Are you afraid of growing old?
That's a yes. Oh,
I don't know. I
grunt.
struggled with the approach to 40, but when I got to 40, 2 weeks out from 40, I was cool. I was okay. Not a drama. I'm good. And age hasn't really been something that I feel like I'm showing it a little bit at the moment. Yeah, I guess.
What's the best age you've ever been?
46.
46, brother. Well, there's been certain stages of, I don't know, because there's a difference between professionally and personally, I guess. Marrying 14 years ago was a great period in my life. Bloody great period.
Oh.
2015.
Look a little more believable.
That was a good
Thanks,
period.
Sailor.
That was a good period. We had a fair bit going on. No, 2018, I don't know. It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's great.
It's all
Sorry,
good.
it just got very serious towards the end there, and I felt a little
didn't
bit like
it?
Am I
Tracy
worried about-
Grimshaw,
You
but I
did-
had to do what I had to do.
And I like the fact that you do that. I think that's a good thing for this podcast. So thank you for speaking up.
Bit of seriousness.
To bring us back on
Oh, just
track.
occasionally we can get a little bit wobbly. The cart does come off the rails occasionally in this podcast. So sometimes someone needs to do the heavy lifting and get it back on.
Oh, there's a slight side glance then at me when you said the cart does get a bit wobbly.
I was seeing whether you were looking at me as I was saying that, blaming me. But no,
I love hanging out with you guys.
Do you reckon I have an issue with age?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You're
In what
you're an
way?
ageist.
Well, I think that, I don't know, maybe the reason why you don't like your birthday is because you feel like you're getting older and
But I've
maybe you
never
don't feel
liked
like...
So that doesn't quite make sense.
Is it the attention?
I'm
Maybe.
uncomfortable with the attention. Yeah.
And compliments, maybe. How do you go with compliments?
I've hated that.
How do you successfully take a compliment? I find it very tricky.
You know what? I
that's
have
hard.
learned to do it. I've learned a way around it, and it's actually changed my life. Because someone would make a compliment, I'm someone who would internally belittle himself, right? So if someone gives me a compliment, I don't feel like I have earned it or deserve it. So I will go to all weird and then make a dumb joke about myself. But what I've learned to do, when someone gives me a compliment, all I do now is just go, thank you, I really appreciate that.
Do you do that all the time?
I do. I really do. And what it does is I did it so to thank them and it makes them feel good for daring to say something. So they feel good. I take the compliment and then by saying thank you, it then gives my body permission to enjoy the compliment.
And it's
accepting
accepting it.
It's a weird psychology thing. So I used to kind of block a compliment as hard as I possibly could, and now I find joy in receiving them because it makes them feel good for saying it. So I feel good because they're feeling good, if that makes sense.
Do you recognize
convoluted, isn't it?
that all of these people, and there was lots more, but I won't, go on. Do you recognise that all of these people were sending in birthday messages because they love you?
No, they just want to be on Australia's #1 upcoming podcast. And they're all media whores and they love the attention. No, that is nice. To sit back and think that the calibre of some of those names, not that that's what it was about, is kind of, it does make you reflect and go, oh, maybe I have had an impact on someone.
And so many strangers love you.
Yeah. And I don't go...
Is that a weird thing to get your head around?
I live in the country, so I don't tend to see many people, right? But I went and had to film something at Hamilton Island, and there was a band playing because it was what they call it was an event. There was an event up there, and I must have taken 1,000 photos that night with people who were just so happy to come up and say good day, and that was really sweet. And I'd forgotten you kind of. I don't do it for that reason. I don't do this job for that reason and that outcome. But it was a lovely reminder that that people get a bit of a kick out of your work. If you make a show that they either grew up with or that they enjoy watching at the end of a hard day. That was really lovely. And someone I was with remarked, and they were like, I've watched you all night and you were so generous with every single person that came up. And they said, no matter who they were, they said like a cleaner came up and you spoke to them for 15 minutes. And they said, that's very honourable. But I didn't look at it as honourable. That's, again, someone who's taken a moment out of their time to come over and say, hey, I just want to say, I like watching your show. And that means the world to me, because that's given, that person allows me to have a career. Without that person watching that show, I don't have a job, I don't have a house, I can't put my kids through school. So I'm really thankful that people, enjoy whatever project you're working on, and then have, make the personal effort to come up and say good day. That means a lot. So I'm not normally exposed to that a lot because we live in the country. I'd sort of forgotten what that was like.
You're just Sailor Scout, Sunday's dad.
Yeah,
that's Shezzy's bitch.
That's all I am. Exactly. That's all I am. So yeah, it is.
So basically, you need to travel more, is what you're saying.
I need to get out where people appreciate me more.
No.
Yeah.
Get the ego pumping.
So do I,
Well, hey,
Sailor.
here's a compliment. You're a very good bloke, GD, and we love you very much. Happy 46th birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Fella.
Now take that dildo off the backdrop over there behind you. It's weird. It's creeping me out.
Stay in there. It's there for good. I love it.
Thanks for the effort, everyone. Love your work. Hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. We can't wait to talk to you again next week.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
Bye bye. See you next time.